so we are ahead of schedule with the pond repair project. So here's an update for you guys on what the pond looks like now that it's about 99% completely drained. As you can see, we still have a little bit of a puddle down there in the bottom. The problem is we are out of in-feed hose for the 3-inch trash pump, and the trash inlet side is just now above water. So I don't know if you guys can see, but I've got my little power station there, and I brought down my little 3/4 horse submersible electric pump with a garden hose running up the back side of the dam, and I'm using that to try to get this as low as I can. But the inside of this pond has really dried out nicely. And actually, Ralph stopped over here the other day, the guy who's going to be trucking in the clay and bringing in the equipment to seal this pond up. And he said, well, I wasn't planning on coming over until, you know, the beginning of July, and here we are June 22nd. And he said, I think it's dry enough we can get in here and start doing some work. So he's going to start hauling in equipment here in a day or two. I'm hoping to get this last little bit emptied out. There you can see that inlet side on the 3-inch trash pump is actually up out of the water, and my little 3/4 horse submersible pump can get down a little bit lower and pump the rest out. Granted, not nearly as quickly. That puts out a couple hundred gallons per minute. This puts out about 8 gallons per minute. But to clean out this last little bit here, that should do the job. So I think Ralph's plan when he gets here with the dozer and the excavator is he wants to strip the entire bottom of this pond down about another foot to make room for the new clay that's going to go in. It really wouldn't make that big of a difference, but it would make our pond 1 foot shallower. And he said, I don't want to make your pond any smaller than it is, so we'll take material out before we bring new material in. And he said, what do you want to do with the material that we strip out of here? And his suggestion was just heap it over the back side of the dam. And I said, I don't really want to do that because I've got a lot of money tied up in Harley raking, grading, rock hounding, grass seeding, strawing the back side of this dam. And it looks pretty nice and I want to leave it that way. So he said, well, what do you want to do with the dirt? And I said, I've got the perfect spot for it. So about a year ago, we put a 30 by 30 garage addition on the side of our house. And when we did that, we only brought in enough fill to level out the spot where the garage is going to go. And as you can see, we've got a whole bunch of drainage coming out of this hillside. This is for the downspouts on that side of the garage. This right here is the floor drain for the inside of the garage. And then we've got a downspout from that side of the garage that right now has no in-ground plumbing. It's just a downspout daylighted right here. And then we've got the downspout for the front side of the house there that comes out of the ground right here. It's kind of buried in those weeds right now. And as you can see, to start dressing this up, we started bringing rocks out of the woods and building this little rock wall here. And what I want to do is start adding fill to the front side of this garage, because right now it is very narrow and uneven to get over to the front side of the house. And actually, we don't really even have enough fill, because if you look at the side of the garage here, the baseboards are still exposed, leaving, you know, an area that mice and rodents could actually get into the garage. So we want to build this up, push it out so that you could actually get a nice decent walkway in here to the front of the house. It's going to require a lot of fill. I don't know how much we're going to be stripping out of the pond, if it'll be enough. And I don't really want to touch any of the existing rock wall that we have here. I just want to kind of start a gentle sweep out and have it go that way. And then we'll continue the rock wall on the front of that new fill that we're going to bring in. Before we can get started with that, as I mentioned before, we have a lot of drainage here, floor drains, downspouts, all that. We need to get all of that plumbing situated and in place before he gets the equipment in here, so we're not playing catch up and we're ready to start moving dirt when he trucks it up here. The plan is he's going to doze all the dirt up to the beach area, have his excavator there to load it in a truck, drive it up the driveway, dump it here, and I need to create myself a little bit of a pad so I can actually get out there, swing the dirt around, because this is really hilly here and it's pretty much inaccessible except from the top side here. So I need to build a pad so I can get the excavator out here, grab the dirt here, swing it around the front side, and start laying the fill in. All right, so we got the mini excavator up here and dug back this drainage line for the downspout that's on the corner of the house there. And as you can see, it was damaged about 18 inches back. And we'll bring the Sawzall out here, cut that nice and flush, so we got a good starting point to start laying some pipe. All right, there we go. We are all ready for Ralph to get here with the equipment and start hauling fill up here. Well, actually there was one other thing that I came across that I need to do in order to get ready. So when we built this garage, I had my electrician stub out a piece of conduit. So if and when we decide to do anything down at the pond down there, we can easily run electric to it. And while I have this trench opened up, I don't know if you can see it, it's right there. I want to go ahead and get another couple pieces of conduit and get that run down here as well. So we don't have to dig this all back up when we want to run electric down to the pond. But yeah, I'll tell you what, I was kind of nervous getting into this because normally whenever I get into projects like this, Doug comes over and gives me a hand. And I pretty much did this all on my own, and I kind of feel like I knew what I was doing. Doug did stop over for about 5 minutes just to check on it and see how I was doing and making sure I wasn't screwing anything up, but I feel pretty good about this. I feel like I know how to put pipe in the ground now. Now the first couple loads that we bring up here is going to take me a little while longer to work through them because I'm going to have to slowly work my way out here and sprinkle some material in underneath these pipes to make sure that I get, you know, support underneath them. I don't want to just start bailing dirt on top of these pipes. That's going to be a lot of weight with no support underneath. Possibly start breaking fittings, bending pipe, all sorts of bad stuff. So I just wanted to throw this little extra clip in here after I finished filming this video. I did end up bringing 20 loads of sand up in the bucket on the tractor, threw it in here, backfilled it by hand with a shovel. So all of these pipes are now supported. The only one that isn't is I had to leave this trench open, as I said before, for that conduit going down through there. Everything else has sand underneath it. So we're all supported and ready for fill. But yeah, this came out really good. I'm really happy with how this turned out. Like I said, this is going to eliminate multiple water spots in the yard. And two, it's going to be one less thing I have to mow around. If I had these coming out, you know, over there and over here, it'd be 2 spots I had to worry about hitting with the mower, whereas this is only going to be 1 spot I got to avoid with the mower. So what I'm envisioning for what this is going to look like when it's all said and done is right about where the rocks stop at that point there, we're going to start tapering it out. And I want it to match the slope that's already here and just continue that up until we get to about level with the garage, flatten it out, and then we'll have that nice flat walkway going to the patio and to the front porch as well. I mean, that's the front door of the house that nobody ever goes to because you'd have to be a billy goat to walk over in front of the garage right now. And then once we get all of this fill in place, we will continue that rock wall and it'll start to taper out and head over towards the patio over there. Anyway, I think that's going to about wrap this one up. Let me know in the comments if any of you guys have experience laying drainage pipe in the ground, how I did for my first solo project. If you guys enjoyed this one, give me a big thumbs up, click that subscribe button, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.